Welcome everyone to another episode of Reese's Roundup. I am your host, the Lightning Kid himself, and today, don't worry guys, I promise I will be talking about the World Cup as soon as it's over. Right now, basketball is just getting too lit because free agency is still upon us, which means more signings, more snakes, and more heartbreaks. Okay, first things first. Devin Booker re-signs with the Phoenix Suns, a 5-year, $158 million deal. Good for the Suns, bad for Devin Booker because, I mean, let's be honest, the Suns aren't going to be anything great for a while. I mean, they have a great team. They have a good lineup, but they just can't do anything with them. So, I don't know. I mean, Devin Booker is a great player. I mean, he's been on the come up. He's been doing really well in his career so far. So, you know, he got what he deserved the money. Great player, but I mean, if he had other options, I think he should have taken them. Next, you got J.J. Redick re-signing with the Philadelphia 76ers for a 1-year, $12 million deal. This is good on the Sixers and on J.J. Redick. The Sixers are an up-and-coming team. They finished with like the best win streak to end the season last season, and on top of that, they got some good young talent. They made it to the playoffs last season, so this was good. I mean, they need three-point shooting as well, and J.J. Redick is probably their only three-point shooter aside from Covington, but I don't know if Covington is staying either. So, I mean, J.J. Redick finished with the 4th most three-pointers in franchise history last season. So, I mean, they definitely could use him, and it's a good thing that they kept him, and I don't think he would have been as much of a factor if he had gone to any other team. You got Rajon Rondo signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. This was a 1-year deal, and the Lakers do need a guard that can play defense and pass really well, and they need that veteran presence. And Rajon Rondo is good. I think he'll mesh well with LeBron James. More than likely, he'll come off the bench because, you know, they're not gonna just throw Lonzo back on the bench. That's just not gonna happen, especially with LeVar Ball running the LA Lakers apparently. So I think Rajon will come off the bench and just play his role, play good defense, and just dominate offensively through his high basketball IQ and passing. You have Julius Randle signing with the New Orleans Pelicans. This was a good move by the Pelicans. I heard Anthony Davis was trying to recruit Julius Randle for very, intently. So I think this was a good move for the Pelicans because they're gonna need somebody to replace DeMarcus Cousins after he signed with the Golden State Warriors. I'm gonna get to that guy in a second, but he signed a 2-year, $18 million deal. I think he'll mesh well with Anthony Davis. If you put Anthony Davis at the center position, throw Julius Randle at power forward, I think it'll be a pretty solid team. Will they go back to the playoffs? Most likely, but we'll see. We'll see what the case is this upcoming season. Speaking of DeMarcus Cousins, that snake, you got him signing with the Warriors for a 1-year, $5 million deal. Now, here's the thing about DeMarcus Cousins, because, guys, listen, DeMarcus, he wanted to give you guys the sob story and say that nobody was calling him after free agency started. One. The guy is still nursing an Achilles injury. He will not be able to play until January, maybe after the All-Star break. So you mean to tell me that teams are going to drop $50 million, $100 million on a guy that's not even going to be on their roster until the playoffs start? I mean, come on now. And second, he did get a call because I heard the New Orleans Pelicans offered him a 2-year, $40 million deal. And he declined it to go sign with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, guy. Third, free agency lasts like 3 freaking weeks, dude. So if one team isn't calling you at 12:01 a.m. on July 1st, I mean, some team is going to call you for the rest of the 3. Like, don't be impatient. You could have had any other team you could have gone to for way more. I mean, I'm sure the Grizzlies would have signed you for like a a $95 million deal to play center and have Marcus all play the power forward. I mean, I'm spitting everywhere, but my God, I mean, I'm gonna hate this season. I need a sec. Next, you have the unthinkable. Tony Parker signs with the Charlotte Hornets for a 2-year, $10 million deal. Now, I heard that in order to get Kawhi Leonard to stay, getting rid of Tony Parker was #1 priority, because Tony Parker was essentially the reason why Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to be on the Spurs anymore, because Tony Parker was he was kind of like throwing jabs at Kawhi, saying that Tony had the same injury, and you know, he was able to bounce back quicker than Kawhi was. So I mean, when you can't have a teammate like that that's throwing jabs at you and, you know, expecting to still stay on the team. So I can see why they decided to do it. I mean, it's going to be weird seeing Tony Parker in a different jersey other than the Spurs, but if you want to get Kawhi Leonard to stay and he's going to be your franchise player, then this was the best move for the Spurs, and I think this was a good move for both parties. I mean, Tony Parker still wants to, you know, excel his career. He still wants to play, and he wasn't really getting much of a role in San Antonio with DeJounte Murray, you know, being an up-and-coming player, and Patty Mills being a solid six-man. So I can see why, you know, he wanted to leave, and I can see why the Spurs wanted to get rid of him. But I did hear that the Spurs wanted to keep him, but, you know, he wanted to play a bigger role, so that's on Tony. Last but not least, you got Kyle Anderson from the San Antonio Spurs signing with the Memphis Grizzlies, a 4-year, $37 million deal. Now, I like this move. I think Kyle Anderson's a fantastic defender, and I think he's an up-and-coming player who didn't really get much of a significant role with the Spurs, but I did see him enough to be impressed by him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I think they're going to move him over to small forward and you know, keep everybody else at their primary position. So I think this will be a good move for the Grizzlies, and I'm excited to see what they do with him. But let me know what you guys think. Are these some good signings, re-signings, and what more? What else? You know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys want to see for the next video. I said I was going to talk about the World Cup because that's coming up soon. You got France and Belgium going at it, and you got my team, England, going up against Croatia. So I'm looking forward to seeing who comes out of that this week, and seeing who's going to make it to the finals for the next for next week. Is it next week? I hope it's next week. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see next time, and I'm out. Peace.